We are just here to show support for the Tartine workers. Their union has passed, but they're entering contract negotiations very soon. So yeah, we're just out here to show that we care about them, we respect them, we want to have a safe workplace with dignity and good health care and good pay. And we're trying to encourage patrons who are dining here just to show support as well. We really appreciate that.
Seems like people are pretty sympathetic.
I'd say so, yeah. We've had some really good reception. No one's been hostile, at least to me. Everyone's very happy. And once you explain to them that it's about the workers and their right to have a good life, they're on board. People are empathetic. People are nice. Yeah.
Well, I was a front of house worker at the time we decided to start organizing. There was just a lot of unfair pay, especially for our back of house workers. There had been a freeze on giving anybody any pay increases, even though they were being loaded with tons and tons of responsibility. And we just wanted a better work environment, a seat at the table, while the company expanded at a really fast rate. Anyway.
So it's supposed to be legal to organize, but it's apparently workers are not really respected when they try to talk about unions.
Oh no, they definitely had a very large anti-union campaign. A lot of union busting happening for that month leading up to the vote. A lot of we're family. Let us do right by you. Tell us what's wrong. Even though a lot of those issues had been attempted to be addressed by employees for well over a year, maybe more. Can't recall at this point, but I do know that post vote, the shutdown happened. A lot of employees were laid off, and a lot of those employees were refused their jobs back or withheld their jobs because they were in support of the union. We were busy enough to rehire staff, and the company refused to do so because of union support.
So it sounds like they spent a lot of money and resources trying to prevent the workers from even having.
Oh, absolutely, they did. Yeah, yeah. Even now, I think that there's an effort to vet any potential employees to make sure that they are non-union supporters. It's just as long as I think it's refreshing to see that there's been a new wave of employees that are actually in support of the union, and this is going to move forward. Because a lot of people, I don't know, it was pretty bare bones for a while.
A lot of people were intimidated.
Yeah.
They weren't prepared for what happened.
I think a lot of people who were intimidated to change their vote from yes to no's in support of the union, or I guess against the union, regretted their decision almost immediately because during the pandemic, those first months, the first year, it was grueling. People were being overworked, and we had the numbers to rehire people and give people their jobs back, and the company decided against that. And
how was it successful? Because it seems like they tried to do everything they can to stop the workers from having. How did it happen?
I think there were a few votes that were still being contested, and luckily after, I don't know the actual process that went through, but luckily those votes turned into yes votes and in support of the union, and it just tipped the scales, and I think the company eventually decided to stop fighting, at least in the interim. I think that their ultimate goal is to continue to hire anti-union and have another vote eventually, is what I've heard through the grapevine.
It seems like there's a wave of young people, 17-year-olds at Starbucks, workers all over the country are just fed up. Amazon, they want to change.
Yeah, it's honestly really great to see that people are taking the power back. Just banding together and letting businesses know that they can't be taken advantage of, and that their voice matters, and they're the ones that keep these businesses flourishing. So Yeah.
I am Patrick. I'm one of the bartenders and production workers at Anchor Brewing Company, which is also Local 6. Essentially, we're out here to show support for Tartine workers. They're in the middle of their contract fight right now. They won their union a while ago. Pandemic hit. A lot of things were happening, but now they're actually at the table with management. So we're just here with the public, with the community, kind of giving out stickers, some posters and stuff like that, and showing that the community still supports them unionizing.
And you also had a struggle at your Anchor Steam. It seems like there's a growing wave of young workers all over the country saying enough is enough, they want a union.
Yep. We're still unionized, thankfully. We've been kind of working with whatever we got right now and trying to work on our next contract, which comes up in March of next year. So.
And if they spent a lot of money here at Tartine fighting it, I mean, what kind of tactics did they use to prevent a union even getting a vote of the NLRB in favor of the union contracts?
There's a lot of fear and intimidation with these guys. Thankfully, the people that were doing the fear and intimidation have been kind of calmed down. It is a newer workforce. A lot of people are kind of buying into what's going on, and I think one of these events, doing these events like this, definitely puts a little bit more support with the workers.
It seems like there's a lot of sympathy here. People have the stickers on.
Yeah, everybody. I haven't really gotten anybody that's like, nah, I don't want one. Everybody's super happy about it. Some people were kind of confused at first because they were just like, I thought they already won their union. And you're like, yeah, they did, but this is for the contract now. So people were super excited about it.
And the whole process in this country with the NLRB, it's very time consuming. Is that the purpose, that, to string it out and make it very difficult for workers to survive under the kind of tactics that they use?
Yep, exactly. That's kind of what happened with Dandelion as well. If people remember that was a fight that was dragged out for a long time. They did that with here. Couldn't do it with Anchor because we took them by surprise, and they just
were prepared ahead of time.
100%. We're also a younger workforce that knew how to use social media compared to them. So, yeah.
They were shocked.
Yeah. We kept them on the back foot a lot of the time. We still do sometimes. But yeah.
And since Anchor, it seems like there's an explosion of young people, 17-year-olds at Starbucks. It seems like there's a growing mass wave of workers, young workers especially, saying they've had enough.
Yeah, shout out to also Chris Smalls for doing the Amazon Labor Union as well. That guy put everybody on the map. That guy is a no-frills, working-class hero, doesn't dress up in a suit, talks to congressmen like any other person, so he's definitely putting people on the map about this stuff too.
And your union, ILWU, is more democratic than most. Why did you guys decide to join the ILWU instead of other unions?
We wanted control of our workplace, and we saw ILWU as giving us that kind of autonomy.
What does that mean, control of your workplace?
Essentially, we control everything. We're talking to managers. It's not, we have our business rep there to help us out, but for the most part, we're dealing with everything. We're doing grievances. We're organizing workers. We're doing marches on the boss. It's all us that want that.
So it's a rank and file kind of controlled union?
100%.
Why is that?
I'm not sure, to be fair. But it was a lot of buy-in for all of us. We feel like that was kind of what we wanted to do with what Anchor was, with how Anchor's history has been. We felt like we understand what Anchor wants to do as workers.